Hey, I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming. A lot of that will depend on how I'm feeling and how the game goes. I'm watching the Unexplained Zone on YouTube, and this one, it's their playlist for Ancient Aliens. And I just put that because if I go for a while, some of the clips that are in this playlist are like 5 minutes. Some of them look like they're the full episode without with the commercials taken out. They're like 44 minutes long. But some of them are like one of them. The one right before this one is 3 minutes and 29 seconds. The one after this is 4 minutes and 44 seconds. The one I'm watching is on Tesla, and the only and this is the and I you know I try not to do this. My brother, I got a brother who does this shit all the time. Uh, he's not overly bright, and he likes to nitpick stupid shit just so he can look like he knows something. But they made a comment about Tesla mastering the lightning. Well, and I could be wrong, but lightning is direct current. If I'm not,
Janesville, Wisconsin, there are currently no weather alerts.
that's Alexa letting me know. I think it's starting to go. It's well over 10 years old. I think I had this before I went down to Indiana. I'm not sure, but it's well over 10 years old, and it doesn't always work as expected. Uh, but I think lightning is more of a direct current, not an alternating current. Like it's like a capacitor, like a taser. You got the electricity here. It zaps the shit out of something, and then it's done. It isn't like cycling back and forth. Okay. Okay, where are we? I don't think I finished Act 2. Let me double check where we are. I can't remember if I'm gonna try Act 3. This might end the stream because the further, like, if you started Act 1 at a certain difficulty level, by the time you get to Act 5, it's a bit harder, even at the same difficulty level. I might end up losing the character. We'll give it a shot. Um, I gotta say it again. I don't consider terrorism politics. I literally don't. Uh, there are people that do. Those are little pissant shots, but they do a shitload of damage. But the shit going on over in Israel, and I gotta be honest with you, I'm really not as liberal as I seem. I just seem this liberal because I don't think gay marriage is causing climate change or anything like that, and I don't think offering same-sex people or same-sex marriage people, the LGBT community, I don't think offering them equal rights is horrible. I don't think the Bible is a fucking textbook. I don't think it's literal. I don't think it's history. I think it's basically akin to mythology, much like the Viking or Celtic or Egyptian or Greek mythology. I think there is elements of truth in it. I think there is wisdom in it. But I don't think, I think you could go just as far following Star Trek as you can the Bible, probably further. You know, they set down some, you know, pretty good morals. Like, I don't remember watching the episode of Star Trek where the Federation basically said that you were going to have to kill their son so they could forgive you, you know, which is what Christianity did. And I really gotta say, somebody posted a picture of one of these religious evangelicals, one of these TV preachers, and he's apparently got like 2 felonies, and he's still preaching. And the picture, I don't know how to, I really don't know any other way to say this. I really don't. He looked like an evil motherfucker in that picture. If you didn't know he was a preacher, and you were looking at that picture, and the police told you that he was wanted because they found 18 dead bodies in the basement, you would not be surprised. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that's what he did, but the picture looked fucking evil. It really looked fucking evil. And the thing that gets me is, you look at him, you look at the horrible shit that the Roman Catholic Church did. And I mean, just to put this into perspective, you had a Jew who was denouncing corruption. He was going around with a message of peace and love and understanding. He was throwing money changers. You know, if he came here now, some Democrats would be too, but if he came to life now and had the ability, he would be throwing most, if not all, of these Republicans out of office, just like he threw the money changers out of the temple. You know, I mean, he might say no. There's a thing in the Bible, and the thing is, the Bible, it's not historical. According to some historians, what is currently in the Bible is not what was originally in the Bible. It's been copied and copied and copied. We really don't know what the Bible originally said, but there's a thing in the Bible where it talks about Jesus, and you got to understand, this is factual. This is not an opinion. This is not a theory. This is not something grown, rational people can dispute or argue with. There's literally nothing about Jesus that you will find was written by people that knew him or were there when he was alive.
I need more hatred to do that.
And don't quote the gospel, because that's another historical fact. There is one gospel that in the Bible, like some of the ones that they found that are non-canonic, the Gnostic stuff, it's not part of the Bible canon. That I can't speak, but the stuff that's actually in the Bible, there's one of the Gospels that might have actually been written when the person it is attributed to was alive. The historians still don't think it was written by him, and don't ask me off the top of my head which one it is. But the other 3 that are in the Bible, the people that, and this was a common thing, and they know this, the historians know this, back then it was quite common for people to ghostwrite stuff and attribute it to somebody else, somebody famous, somebody that people might actually want to listen to. And but there's one of them that he might have been still technically alive. He would have been old, he would have been sick, but they still don't think he's the one who wrote it. But the other 3 were written, by the the three people that were supposedly the author, they were long gone. It was written well after they were gone. And but there's something in the Bible where it talks about Jesus said, render up to Caesar that which is Caesar. So if he came here, he would probably not care what the government was doing. He would probably be speaking out about the Republican war on poor people. He would probably be throwing a lot of the elected officials, again, some Democrats, maybe not all of them, but some of them, but most of the Republicans, the ones that you see that are so religious and so holy roll, he throw them right out of the fucking temple. Like when they came to pray on Sunday or Saturday or whatever fucking day they go to church on, if he was there, he'd probably throw them right the fuck out and say, you don't belong here. Another thing, from it was on this TV show, the newsroom that they did on HBO. And I can't remember the exact quote. I can get it close, but there was a show, an episode where they were talking about.
My hatred is too low.
We're talking about the American Taliban, the Tea Party, and the American Taliban now includes modern day GOP. There aren't really any moderates left, and if they want to be considered moderates, they're going to have to prove it. I do have hope, though.
Not enough hatred. I need more hatred to do that. Not enough hatred. My hatred is too low. Not enough hatred.
I'm gonna end this stream. This is the easy fucking setting you can have on this game. It's just fucking ridiculous.
My hatred is too low.
This is fucking ridiculous. I mean, at they want to be like this, then they need to give you a fucking easier setting. I'm sorry.
I need more hatred to do that.
Leave me. It is too late. Take this. I have no use for it anymore.
My hatred is too low.
Look out! They've been circling for hours.
Not enough hatred.
Well, running and gunning worked. I survived. Okay. But no, but he would. All these people that you see, maybe not all of them. I'll be honest with you, that new Pope, at least on the surface, maybe he's an evil fucker behind closed. I don't know. I literally don't know. But that new Pope, he seems like a really decent guy. And but they had Notzinger. You look at what the early church. I mean, the same people that created the Roman Church and the biggest influence, bar none, to Christianity. And let's be honest, Christianity and the Muslim faith are basically cult offshoots of Judaism. They literally are. These are ones, for all the hatred the Muslims have, they're a lot like the Christians. They feel, oh, well, we replace Judaism. All those people should come to us. And it's like, well, no.
They believed the search ennobled them.
The Muhammad guy, he was a lot like the guy who started the Mormon religion. He just basically set up his own shop, and again, maybe it's all true. I really don't know, but he just set up his own shop. Said, "Hey, here's what's really happening. Don't believe God. Don't believe the Jews. You know, this is it right here. You know." And he set up his own little, you know, cult faith. Got people to fucking join it. And oh yeah, Great Horn Goliath. But you had these people, and I saw like one of them, you know, and I hate to say this, but I think they're in my group. I think they're on the far left, the extreme far left. You gotta understand, there is a group of them, and some of them are really nice people. They really are. Like, I worked with this guy years ago, Vietnam vet. And if you kept him away from politics, he was without a doubt one of the most decent, humane people you could ever meet. But whatever happened to him in Vietnam fucked him up. And once you got him on politics, the most stupid, insane shit would come out of his mouth. Like, he got mad the one time because he put some propaganda. It was conspiracy shit. It was before 2,000 Mules and a lot of that shit now. But he threw it on my desk at work, and like, he came up to one day and he gave me a T-shirt, "God bless Ronald Reagan." And I wore that. Well, then he came and wanted me to wear one for George Bush. I go, no. Because we wore the one for Reagan. I go, yeah, the guy's dead. I think he was dead at that time, you know. But I mean, if he wasn't, he had Alzheimer's. You know, hey, you know, he's not harming anybody anymore. And one of the union people, they gave me shit about wearing it, and I go, hey, Reagan's dead. You know, or Reagan's got Alzheimer's. I go, he's not gonna harm anybody. I go, there's no harm in wearing that. But I go, when he offered me the George Bush shirt, and I don't know if it was HW or W, it just said, you know, God bless George Bush. I go, no, I'm not wearing that. Because that guy was still a danger to us. You know, he was still alive. He was still coherent. You know, and I wouldn't wear that one. But there are people on the far left that, you know, and the thing is, I don't think they realize this way. I think they're so fucking far into the Kool-Aid tank, they don't have a clue. And, but if they could, they want to give us, like, the left-leaning version of the Tea Party, the left-leaning version of MAGA, the left-leaning version of the Freedom Caucus. They really do. And you know, the thing that got me is they hardly ever get into office, because unless those people look like Bernie Sanders or AOC, they don't have a chance. You know, like AOC, now she's in a very special district. Someone like her probably could not get, and this is the thing, they actually think, oh, well, you know, she could run anywhere. And no, she can't. She's, you know, and the Republicans know this too. That's why they gerrymander shit so hard. Because they know that, all things being equal, once these people get in there, that happened to Nancy Mace. She got in there and they gerrymandered the shit out of her district. So she, I think, would be, she's not an honest broker. She stood up and said what she wanted to say, and she got attacked.
Not enough hatred.
She stood up and made a lot of sense. That was the type of courage. She wasn't Army. I think she was. I might be wrong, but I think she was either Navy or Air Force. But I think she was military. Well, you know, that wasn't leadership. That wasn't courage. she spoke the truth and got attacked. Next thing you know, she was there filming campaigns ads out because Trump wouldn't support her. She was in front of his building doing campaign ads, just seeing if she could lick his ass in the campaign and get reelected. And that's not courageous leadership. It's not. But the fact is, her party gerrymandered her district so bad, she can't be a moderate, or she's going to get primaried from the far right. So she's got to do a lot of the stupid shit you see her doing. It's not who she is, but it's like she doesn't have any principles that matter, because if she had principles, she would have pulled a Liz Cheney or an Adam Kinzinger. She would have kept telling the truth, and then she would have left office, or she'd have gotten primaried and she'd have been kicked out, or she'd have lost the election. You know, principles aren't principles if you only do them when they're convenient. Then they're just a fetish. They really are. And something about that glyph fucking, yeah, it weakens these guys up. But these people on the left,
Feel my wrath.
they were spewing this nonsense in a discussion on Threads about how we needed to
This cannot be opened yet.
something about the Palestinians. And, you know, and really, I don't know what they're saying, but it's almost like they want the Jews to give up the land and give it back to the Palestinians.
I need
And
more hatred to do
somebody
that.
made the comment, well, you realize there's people in our country that are under this delusion that somehow America's just going to give that land back to the Mexicans. You know, and there's groups. They're like, again, you know, just like, you know, the Taliban, you know, the Tea Party is the Taliban, or you know, whatever it is now, whatever the this is the thing you can learn from the Republicans. They've been doing this pro-life bullshit for so long, and they're losing elections. You know, this pro-life shit isn't. So they're not changing their policies. They're just rebranding. They want to call it something else. George W. Bush did this when he was in office after 9/11. The shit that he was doing in overseas was just not popular. Well, you know, the smart money would be like, well, then just change what you're doing. You know, one, it wasn't working anyway. You know, it wasn't working anyway, so you change it. You know, that would make sense. No, she brought in some media person from Texas. He worked with Ronnie's governor, and her job was to polish the turd and make it a little more tasty for the fucking Republicans. And that's all they're doing here. It's a time-honored thing. So, like, whether you call them the Taliban, whether you call them the Tea Party, the Freedom Caucus, MAGA, it's the same bullshit, just a different generation. It's just they found out that smart people aren't going to vote for them. Remember, George Bush, when he ran, he said, we ran with the uneducated vote. You know, he knew there were a lot of stupid fuckers that voted for him, and that's in his words. He said, he goes, we won with uneducated people. He was proud of that. You know, look at what happened when Jeff Sessions, the former, I think he was a senator when he came to Trump. I don't think he was still in the House. I think he'd moved up to the Senate. He came in to be the Attorney General for Trump. And surprisingly, he didn't do too bad of a job. He at least, he wasn't a Barr. He wasn't like, he actually followed the rules. He didn't bend them like Barr did, or appears he did. And so Trump kicked him out, and then he'd be like, oh, he's a dumb hillbilly from the South. Well, yeah, that's the way Trump sees all of them down there. And, you know, as long as they're stupid enough to commit crimes for him, then they're his guy. Me, I'm going to call him stupid all day long. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to be honest with you. I'm not going to start being honest with you after you piss me off. And but anyways, he was basically acting like the Jews were just supposed to give the land back to Israel. It's like, well, if you actually look into the history of it, that land was always Jewish land. It was taken from them a long time ago. And I kind of weighed in on this. I go, this argument you're making that these people are just like the Mexicans that want the Mexican groups that want America to give back, Southern California, Texas, New Mexico. I'll be honest with you, they can have fucking Texas. Texas wants to secede anyways. Let them go. Say, okay, fine, you're seceded. We're gonna put the wall up here, and within 6 months, the cartels will have taken Texas over, and they will be begging for us to come and liberate them and take them back. And then what I would do is I would take them back and make them like Puerto Rico. And then when they're having problems down there, just have somebody go down and throw fucking paper towels at them like Trump did. But no, it's like, my God. Okay, better not mess with Texas. Why? They can't keep their fucking power plants running. Wait, that might have used to be true, but it's like they can't even keep their power plants running in winter or the summer. Well, how the fuck are they gonna fight a war? Give me a fucking break. That when Obama was in office, they had one guy with Ebola, and they fucked that up. Obama had to send people down there to save their fucking ass because they were fucking morons. They couldn't handle one guy with Ebola. How hard is it? Either lock him up or they tell him he's got to stay under house arrest. They let that motherfucker get on a plane. And then after he got on a plane, there was somebody at Texas going, gee, maybe that was a mistake. We let him get on a plane. But could something bad happen if somebody's got Ebola and we're just letting them run all over the fucking country? That seems like that might be a bad idea. Let's call Obama. We'll get somebody smart to educate. And I'm exaggerating it, but it really wasn't. I'm not exaggerating it all that much. It's like fucking A. But no, but they were just acting like, oh, that's Palestinian land, and the stuff Israel's done, and blah 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 blah. It's like fucking open a history book. All that bullshit about Palestinians that he was saying, yeah, it's been theirs for maybe since the Ottoman Empire. That was Jewish land going back to before 0 BC. BC before the Common Era or whatever it is. That was Jewish land, long before Jesus was born. It just was. And they didn't sit there and cry and terrorize people. They didn't. They moved on. They some of them were in America, some of them were in various parts of Europe. And they did. They didn't terrorize people. They didn't act like infants. They weren't strapping bombs to themselves or blowing up government buildings or killing and raping women and children and shit like the Palestinians are. They moved on. And then after World War II, the world kind of looked at what Hitler and others did to the Jews, and they said, this ain't right. There's all this land that is actually theirs. We'll just give it back to them. They can have it back.
Not ready yet.
And, you know, they did. They gave them that land back, and it's been that way for like about 70 years. And, you know, Hamas might have a little more sympathy. The Palestinians might have a little more sympathy if they just go and do what the Jews did at first. You know, instead of staying there clinging to some dirt that they no longer possess, that has been basically taken from them or given away or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know, if they like moved on, moved into other parts of, you know, Arabia, moved into Europe, others, and peacefully just did what the Jews did. You know, do a good job, get paid a lot of money, and you know, and become the envy of Germans and white nationalists, you know, there might be some sympathy for them, but it's like, I don't know what they were expecting, but what they did, I'm pretty sure it's not going to turn out the way they thought it was. But this guy was just, oh, well, the Palestinians this and the Palestinians that. And it's like, well, first of all, that other guy was a little wrong because, you know, if you were going to use that example, it's like it already happened. They gave the land back to the people that owned it like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years ago. You know, they did. They gave it back to the Jews. Palestinians, here's a moving truck. Get the fuck out. You know, that's what they should be doing right now. They won't do it, but Israel should just take Gaza and break it up into like 5 or 10 parts, and they should take the West Bank and they should break that up into like, you know, 2 or 3 or 5 parts, you know, like a total of 15 maximum, and just create little sections on a map, and they should go in right now and they should take them out of section 1 and figure out, like, basically just start like section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you can go in, put up your iron dome, secure it, and, you know, and move on, and just kick them out of section 1, take them right out of the fucking country, put them outside the border, give them some food and water, and go, hey, go that way. You are no longer, you'll never, you know, fucking take fingerprint them, all this other shit, and tell them you're never going to be welcome here. If we catch you here again, we're going to lock you up. If you come back, we're going to lock you up. This is no longer your home, no longer welcome. What do we do? Well, you've been harboring terrorists. You know, just fucking kick them out. And then they should have done it Monday. Should have done it Sunday, and then tell the fucking terrorists, hey, you've got, you know, till Friday, tomorrow, to give us everybody back that's unharmed. If they're not back here by Friday, we're going to kick out another fucking section. We're going to go in, we're going to, you know, do what we got to do. They will be removed by, you know, reasonable force. If we have to kill everybody, we have to kill her, but they will be removed, just like our trespass laws. You're allowed to use reasonable force to evict a trespasser, and you fucking kick them out. And tell them, you know, hey, everybody comes back unharmed. If you've already harmed them, then we're gonna throw out number 2 anyways. But, you know, this ends it. You give us back our people. Done. And then when that's all said and done, things tamped down, kick out Area 3 and tell them, okay, now if we get any more shit from you, we're gonna throw out Section 4. Then we're gonna throw out Section 5. Then we're gonna throw out Section 6 until you're completely out of this fucking country. And then tell the Arabs, you guys attacked us and lost in that 6-day war. We took a whole shitload of your property, and we gave it back. We fucking gave it back under the promise of peace. And we haven't gotten that peace. We're still waiting for it. So what we're going to do is We're done. We're absolutely done with this bullshit. And, you know, what we're going to do is, they're your problem. We don't want them anymore. We're going to kick them the fuck out. They're not our problem. Don't make yourselves our problem. Because we're not, you know, you guys want to do another 6-day war? We're not going to give the land back this time. If you come in and fuck with us, we're keeping it this time. We're not going to give it back. Just the way it is. Trust that we mean what we're saying here. Trust it. And kick them the fuck out. And see where we go from there. But it might wake the Palestinians up to realize, oh, they're not fucking around. We're not going to be able to support these. This is the thing, like 9/11. This is the thing a lot of people I don't think realizes. 9/11, Saudi Arabia was, they were doing fundraisers akin to the Jerry Lewis telethon, and what they were doing was, ooh.
Not quite.
I like that. And giving it to them. Another thing, a lot of people and it was on the news, but they didn't really advertise it. While the planes were still grounded, you had the Bush administration sending a private jet around the country, made many stops, and they were picking up members of the Saudi family and getting them the hell out of the country, because Saudi Arabia was involved in 9/11. There's a lot of files that are still sealed. Donald Trump, that might be the reason why Jared Kushner got like a couple $1 billion, billion with a B, after he left the White House, because he was probably involved in covering up that Saudi prince's murder of a journalist, and he was probably involved in keeping those Saudi documents secret. And Biden hasn't released them either. I mean, what the fuck are they hiding? Seriously, what the fuck are they hiding? Ooh, this might be the end of the stream. Let's go ahead. I think that was one of those explosive rounds. Okay, we're out. Stream, everybody. I wanna. Let's quit the game. Game settings, adventure. We're gonna say at Act 3. You can't. You literally can't go any easier than this. Yeah, I don't know. Peace. I've gained at least one level. Peace out, and I hope everybody has a good day. If I'm still feeling like this, I will come back with a Minecraft stream later. Peace out, and hope everybody has a good day. Weather looks like crap here, but hope everybody has a good day.